What's going on, everybody? Welcome to the CFCDP YouTube channel. We got an awesome show for you today. Gonna get into the international window. No, it sucks for everybody. Some people like it. I don't really care for it, but always a lot of Blues playing in the international game. So we will touch on some of the biggest storylines heading into the international break. But as always, we're going to start with a clip from Chelsea Look Back. Please go like and subscribe to his videos in the bio below. Here we go.
Chelsea Football Club was celebrating their 90th birthday. It proved to be a happy one as they scored 3 goals for the second time in a week. The first of them from Frank Sinclair after 75 minutes. That goal looked to be enough for victory, but with 2 minutes remaining, Ruud Gullit, who'd had an outstanding match, scored his first goal for the club. A brilliant volley by Gullit, and it was matched moments later by Mark Hughes. Chelsea are up to 8th in the table, 1 defeat so far, but there's still room for improvement.
And that was our Chelsea look back. As I said, go check out his content. He is absolutely fantastic about getting timely, older Chelsea videos out. So I'm going to bring in our guest from today. You may know him from Blue Clouds TV. He told me to call him Nee. It was easier for me to pronounce. So Nee, my man, how are you doing today?
I'm doing all right. I'm doing great, man. Yes, wonderful to be on another platform, and then I can't wait to get it going.
So today we're going to be talking a little bit about the international window. I know it's kind of hit or miss for some people. Some people love international football, some other people don't and are waiting. And when you have a team that's at the top of the table like Chelsea is, it's always a kind of a sad thing to see it come to a halt for a couple weeks. You know, international football is, like I said, is kind of crazy. What do you think about international football?
You know, as a content creator, to be honest with you, I would say I love international football. Those that don't create content, where they don't know how content creating is so difficult, trying to come up with all your overlays, all your thumbnails, and being creative content. So if they don't know how difficult it is, they would not. They would like, if they know how difficult it is, then I'll tell you, they will be okay with international break, which would take them away from the pressure that EPL and then the FA Cup, the Carling Cup brings to you. But besides that, yeah, I'm okay with the national break. You know, those players that plays for our clubs, the top clubs in Europe, and then wherever they play, those players started from individual countries, from the lower divisions, the youth divisions, the under 17s, the under 20, all the way to the senior national team. The countries give these players the platform for them to be able to sell their talent to world football, especially for the clubs in Europe. So yeah, I'm good for it.
Yeah, and you know what? And it means so much for these players to be able to line up for their country, to be honest with you. I think, you know, being club fans and not having, you know, we're both in America. So, you know, it's different, you know, when these guys are playing for Germany, Italy, England, and whatnot. It means a lot for them, and for these people that live in these European countries, it does mean a lot to them. It's, you know, for the U.S., like U.S. basketball or something of that nature, even U.S. soccer at this point as well. So there are a couple of Chelsea storylines. Obviously, we have a lot of the same usual suspects going on breaks, your Germans, the Italians, you know, Marcus Alonso and Azpilicueta with Spain, and then a bunch of the other odd names for different international teams. But I think the biggest storyline definitely is Ben Chilwell being called back up to the England squad after his teammate Reece James was deemed not fit to play in these World Cup qualifying games. And Garreth Southgate, I don't know if he's trying to right a wrong or if he's simply saying Chilwell is the next best option there. You know, they have other wing back options or right back and left back options, and Shaw, Walker, and Trippier. So Chilwell's kind of the fourth banana, I guess, in that. So, you know, overall, do you think that this is going to be a productive international break for Chilwell? I mean, they're not playing great teams, so I could see him playing quite a bit, to be honest.
Well, that's an interesting question. What to Ben Chilwell's perspective, he'll be he'll be buzzing. He'll be very happy because of he hasn't got much playing time with for Chelsea. But then his last game that he played for Chelsea, he was very, very impressive as Tuchel gave time for Marcus Alonso to rest. You could tell that he's been waiting for that opportunity to come his way. So when he had it, he really made the best out of it. He also was able to register a goal for him to be able to get on the squad sheet. So I think with that alone, gave Garreth Southgate the automotive or the power to say, "Hey, I want to try you. I want you." I've seen Trippier. I've seen the other guy from Manchester, Luke Shaw. I think, yeah, I've seen Luke Shaw also. So I want to see more of you. And we know, Chelsea fans who did not really like Chilwell when he was coming, but then I don't think he's that bad. He's good he's good defending, and because of his pace and then what he brings in. Also, the only difference between Marcus Alonso and Ben Chilwell is Marcus Alonso gives him a little bit more versatility, which is having free kicks. Ben Chilwell is not good with free kicks. Marcus Alonso is very good with his left foot, and also be very good playing, going forward compared to what Ben Chilwell can give you. But defensively, Ben is much more better than Marcus Alonso. So I think with Gareth Southgate's style of play, he wants to solidify his back four very well. So he wants someone who is much more better on defending one-on-one, just like he uses Aaron Wan-Bissaka. Wan-Bissaka is so good on the right-hand side defending, but he's not good going forward. So these are the kind of profile players that Gareth Southgate is looking for.
And when you looked at kind of how the summer unfolded for Chilwell, the whole England spell was really just a mess for him, because not only was he one of 3 players not to play for England and during the Euro campaign, but he was also put on the back foot in terms of his club career in this season, because he had to isolate again. Chilwell, he had to take extra time off even though he didn't play, and Alonso was able to get a good run of form to begin the season for a role that was pretty much Chilwell's from the end of last year on. And overall, why I asked if this is going to be a good spell for Chilwell is, I think the point is that if he doesn't play, it's kind of a waste of time, because I think that he would be better off if he doesn't play, working with Tuchel, having that time with him, because now Alonso gets called up for the Spain squad for the international break, and now you kind of have a role reversal potentially. So I hope Southgate didn't just do this to kind of fill in the gaps, because I don't think that would be great for Ben's confidence. But overall, I think that it's a positive thing, and I think he will be happy to be back in the England squad after being left out in the first international break this year.
Yeah.
So go ahead. Yeah.
Yeah, I agree with you, my brother. I agree with you in the sense that even he was part of the just the ended European competition that took place. He was part of it, but then unfortunately he didn't play much. Most of the time he found himself in the bench. I would hope that Gareth Southgate would give him much playing time to build or boost his confidence coming back to the from international break, for him to be able to play well for Chelsea.
Yeah, so it's only a matter of kind of just seeing how many minutes he gets to kind of rate how this international break was for him. There's going to be a lot of guys out for Chelsea per usual on international duties. So the first couple games and whatnot, it's always kind of a mix and match to see who's available to play, especially in the COVID era with quarantining as well. We're going to stay in England, and this is a kind of a sticky situation. It involves Callum Hudson-Odoi, who was declined actually to be on the U21 squad for England for the last international window, as well as this one, because he believes he's a senior England player, and more power to him to do that. He is kind of at a crossroads now, because he is one cap away from being cap tied to England and not being able to make a switch. And he is considering, having Ghana as his international team moving forward, which honestly might be a good move for him if he is not guaranteed a lot of minutes with England. To be able to play international football is such an amazing thing, and I think Callum just really wants to get into that. Southgate, though, is the latest reports is that he's reluctant to call Hudson-Odoi up, just to simply save him from going the Ghana national team. So, you know, I mean, it's kind of a sticky situation. While I believe that Gareth Southgate rates Hudson-Odoi, I think that Callum's trying to force his hand, and I don't think Gareth Southgate is really about that, to be honest with you. I mean, how do you see this situation from afar, and how do you think it might unfold?
Yeah, this is a very interesting topic that divides lots of opinion and the Chelsea fan base. Why am I saying this? I'm saying this in the sense that Callum Hudson-Odoi himself is not doing himself a favor. He's not doing himself in the favor in the way that he's been given so many numerous opportunity from Thomas Tuchel for him to be able to secure a position in the team. Every Chelsea fan and every person that have been with the club for so long want to see Callum Hudson-Odoi succeed with Chelsea Football Club, because we all know what he's all about. He's been with the club since age 5, 6 till now. Callum Hudson-Odoi is still not making it. They put him in different positions to play. He doesn't cut it. They put him in his favorite position, also cannot cut it. And I don't know what Callum have to do to be able. I mean, I feel very bad for him because of that injury, that the Achilles injury that he went through a couple months ago. When that injury came to him, it took the instinct, the style, the ability that he has to showcase his game. He took that thing away from him. And then it's been very difficult for him to come back to be the same Callum Hudson-Odoi, as we all know. It looks like he plays without confidence. He can't take the players on. When he tries it doesn't work. Then he brings the ball back. That is what Tuchel keeps saying. Go get to the guy. I've heard him in after the game. He's like, that is what I want you to do. Take the player on, one-on-one. Do this, do that. And I think if Callum listened to the coach very well and it does what he wants him to do, he'll definitely be with the team. And then also the other way, if you're not getting much time with England, then why not? Why do you waste your time with England?
Right.
Because you even won the Under-20 World Cup, and then you didn't even get opportunity to see your president, the Queen.
Mm-hmm.
But this is Ghana that you haven't even played for the nation yet, but you were able to go to the castle, the president's residence, and then be able to meet with the president of Ghana. And the president have assured you, talk to the president of the Ghana FA Football Association, to be able to make everything reserved and prepared for you to be happy with the national team. So Ghana is 100% ready waiting for him. There are so many players that have go through the rank. Even I would tell you, to be honest with you, Callum Hudson-Odoi will not have it easy even playing for the Ghanaian national team because of the talents that we have in Ghana. We've produced lots of players, lots of Daniel Welbeck that was with also another Ghanaian that was so good. We played Michael Essien, another Ghanaian. Lots of players that Ghana have produced. A football nation that produced lots of talent. So Callum Hudson-Odoi is one of them also. So it won't, to me, I would say I'll give myself one more year, but he's running out of time.
Yeah, and it's kind of a situation where, like, if you are Callum, and Southgate does call you up, right, for whatever tournament it is and whatnot, but it's like he's almost at decision time, because if Southgate does end up calling him up, and I understand that he has to accept the call up as well, but Southgate could say one game in, hey, you're in. Now you're cap-tied. Right. Now you're not going anywhere. You know what I mean? And now you're at the mercy of Southgate to say, hey, you're coming back or what. But, I totally echo a lot of the stuff that you said, especially about him seizing an opportunity within the Chelsea squad, because, with everyone not being in form, I just feel like in terms of the front three, other than Lukaku, Mount, no one's really grabbed that other spot, to be honest with you. I think Timo is kind of walking towards that a little bit, but I would really like to see Callum go ahead and grab a spot in the team, because it's there. It just requires you to have consistent performances, and that is what we're missing from, the guys. Sorry, my dog wants to play.
No,
so
it's not that bad. It's okay.
No worries. Anyways, so a former Blue, that is also going to be heading to the England squad is Tammy Abraham. And now Tammy Abraham has been absolutely awesome at Roma thus far. Jose Mourinho wants to create a kind of a scoring machine, he said, right?
Yeah.
So, I mean, when you look at Tammy in his time in Roma, talk to me about it a little bit.
Oh, Tommy has been amazing. We know he was not going to cut it with the Chelsea team. There's going to be so much pressure on him playing a team like Chelsea. You have to have the balls to be able to stand the test of pressure coming from the Chelsea community. And the one thing about Tommy was having issues with holding on to the ball and playing players in. It looks like he's always been bullied from defenders, but it's been amazing. For Tommy right now in AS Roma, he has a call from the legendary coach of all time, Jose Mourinho, and as of now he's played 7 games in Serie A and has about, I think he has about a couple assists, about 3-4 assists.
He has 2 goals, 2 assists, thus far in Serie A, but in all competitions, I think they're in the Conference League. He has a few as well.
Yeah, so he's been amazing. I mean, we'll say the slow pace of this Serie A is not anywhere compared to what the English Premier League gives you. But then that will give him the confidence. That will help him. It will help little Tommy to build up strength and then upper body strength, like you see from Lukaku. And then also Ruben Loftus-Cheek. Ruben has the upper body strength that he can shield the ball. That is what Tommy also needs. You need to put him a little bit of weight, to be able to play as a target man for Chelsea. But then it's been a good story.
All right. So I did want to talk a little bit about Ruben Loftus-Cheek, as you mentioned, kind of in your Tammy answer about him shielding off defenders. I didn't end up getting to a Southampton match review, but if I did do it, he would be the first person that I would talk about. I mean, Ruben Loftus-Cheek has absolutely looked fantastic in that midfield. He almost looks like he's never left. And that kind of the dark days of him at Fulham were almost disappearing. I mean, when you watch the out Fulham game last year, you're like, man, he's lost. He looks completely lost. But I think Tuchel has done another one of his master classes on him. What do you think?
Yeah, thanks for the question. With Chelsea, the expectations that the fans, the coaches are expecting from you as a player is very high. I would say the Fulham move, it was a move for him to get much more game time, but then he wasn't playing with high quality players that should bring the best out of Ruben. Now you can see that Ruben is a player that when he plays in that position, the pivot position, he always, whatever he's looking for is to search the ball forward to join the attack moving forward. But then when you compare Ruben's style of play to Jorginho always take the pressure out of the back. Ruben does the same thing, but athleticism, Ruben is much more better than Jorginho. You know what I'm saying? But Jorginho has more experience than Ruben. Ruben has the legs. Ruben have the running ability. Jorginho is not a runner. He can run that much, but then he's good with 5-yard passes. Ruben can do much more better than that. So it looks like Tuchel has really seen something different from Ruben, always being positive, as Jorginho is a negative player. He cannot find the right passes for the players. But I think that 2-3 more games, we will find our starting 11. Ruben will get himself in the starting 11 and push Jorginho. Maybe Jorginho will be playing alongside Ruben. That's how
possible. Yeah, it's definitely possible. And when you look at Ruben as a whole, I think that Tuchel has seen over the 2 games prior to the Southampton game, a lot of side-to-side passing, a lot of, like you said, negative plays where they aren't taking that front step. And when Ruben came in against, he didn't really get much time against Man City, but if you look at how he came in against Juventus when he had a little bit more of an extended run, he really gave us some chances and he pushed the ball forward and made teams uncomfortable. Constantly, you're looking for someone, and we thought it was going to be from the wing backs to make those one-on-one moves, and we hoped Callum would do that, but they're not. They're simply just going to be crossing the ball in and making assists and whatnot. as we saw kind of at the end of the Southampton game. I mean, Aspie had a lot of good opportunities, but they were crosses. He wasn't taking guys one-on-one. So you're going to need some penetration somewhere to break down a back, a back five or whatever they were playing at the time against Juventus. So Ruben is going to be a guy that's going to be able to do that. And as he gets chemistry, that link up between him, Lukaku, or whoever else the forwards are is going to be something that's going to really help Chelsea moving forward, because that is kind of the missing piece.
Right.
If you're not crossing the ball in to Lukaku, you don't really have another offense. You don't have that creative key necessarily to unlock that. But if Ruben is able to step up, make good runs and whatnot, he could be that creative key.
Right.
I mean, do you think I'm making do you think I make sense with what I'm saying? That I think Tuchel requires so much from his wing backs defensively and offensively, in terms of, obviously, first of all, creating on offense, because they are the main creators. But then if they aren't able to do that, when you have an Aspie in, for example, who's not necessarily going to take guys off the dribble, we'll put in a good cross or so, don't get me wrong. I think that you're going to look for a Ruben to slide in there to be able to create. You even saw Barkley do it sort of at the end of the game with that pass to Aspie. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I agree with you. I agree with you, brother. I agree with you 100%. Yeah, we need more creativity in the midfield, and Ruben is the guy that stands out for us. And to me, I'll tell you, Ruben is a goal scorer. He's good. He has powerful shots. He's good in both left and right foot. And it's not like Kovacic, when he hits the ball, it never found the target. Ruben will give you goals. I've seen him get us goals under Mauricio Sarri at that season. He was outstanding for Chelsea. So I know he's got it in him. I've seen him in academy days, the developing team days, and Ruben, he's now, I think, over 26 years now. He's 26 years now. He's hitting his prime, and I think Ruben can do it for us. And I believe that we can get more goals from Ruben when given the chance.
And even if he's not going to be this exact same player as pre-Achilles Ruben, he seems a little bit more mature and a little bit more mentally apt to be able to position himself. I just see when he gets the ball, he just has a knack for getting defenders on his back, and then he's able to use those amazing dribbling and technique skills to get the ball forward. So I expect big things from Ruben coming forward. I think that the way that they have him playing now is fine. I believe that when you get down to it, I believe Jorginho and Conte is still the top choice. But the whole point of having a deep squad is having these reserve players pushing the starters. And I think that in the midfield, when you talk about Ruben, I think he is going to push that midfield to be a little bit more creative, because the game calls for it at times. As well as when you look at the forwards, you have to see that, well, no one is pushing each other for those starting positions. Everyone's kind of putting 5 out of 10s, 5 out of 10s, 5 out of 10s. Finally, Tuchel was saying, hey, all right, Callum, this is your chance. Get up top. We're going to take care of it. And he did. And he played a very good game, but it puts pressure. It's not often that you see Chelsea's record signing before Lukaku, Kai Havertz, just sit out an entire game, and then you talk about Ziyech, another big money signing, sitting out the game. But if you're not going to perform, I don't think Tuchel cares. He needs performances.
You need performance,
and you need results. You have 2 games against Man City and Juventus where you look like you're sleepwalking halfway through it. You're not going to be able to contend for any trophies. You have to be able to perform in those tough games. You have to. And now the Liverpool game was a little bit different with the red card. We were performing in that game, and we did a really good job defensively, because that is what we're super strong at. But in a game where you need to go attack and you need to score goals, you have to have players that are going to step up to the challenge. And until you have those forwards pushing each other for those spots, you're not going to get it.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? That was a little bit of a rant. I kind of got a little heated on there, but
yeah, that's okay.
You know what I mean, though?
Yeah, I do. I know.
That's what the great teams do. They have those guys that are going to push you, and it's a constant competition. And that's where the best teams are built.
Yeah, just like Ronaldo does. Ronaldo does for Manchester United. When the game is tough, you need an outstanding player that can pull up an individual brilliance and then win the game for you. It's like we don't have it. We don't have in the team. And then also another thing that I'm gonna bring it up. I know you don't know. I don't know if you ever. We don't have that much time, but yeah, we can just brush through that topic. And also has to do with the target man tag. Target man tag on Romelu Lukaku, as he explained with a journalist, said he doesn't like people calling him a target man because he does so many things that he does for a team. He's a team player, and then he's not as a target man that people classify him to be, because he scores goals. He plays for the wing. He plays in the wing position for, I mean, Belgium. So he doesn't want to be called as a target man. I don't know what your perspective over that topic.
Yeah, I mean, he said, like, I think he was quoted recently. I think that's what you were quoting. He said, I'm a big guy. I'm going to be honest with you. Like, I'm paraphrasing here, but he said, I'm a big guy here, but that's not me. I'm a footballer. I'm not just a physical guy that's going to just run over people and score goals. You know what I mean? He has finesse to his game, and he has to be able to show that. And Tuchel's opportunity here, you know, throughout the season and going forward is, we have to get this guy creative touches, because he is a wizard with his feet and he's able to score goals, and it's not going to be just in the middle. It's just not going to be. And so we'll see how it goes looking forward. Definitely a lot of stuff to think about over the international break and whatnot. That's a good time. It's a time for reflection. I will reflect that no matter what, we are at the top of the table at the moment. So that is all good. We're very happy about that. Nee, my friend, I just want to thank you very much for coming on.
I appreciate it, brother. It's a pleasure to be with you, and it's a pleasure to be with your channel, which is CFCDP1, right?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, appreciate it to be here. And it's always nice to be part of a new community growing up. And I'm always can't wait when you invite me again. Hey, I won't hesitate. Now I'll be here.
Appreciate it. Going. And you can always check out Nee's content at Blue Clouds TV. The links will always be in the bio if I have any guests on. So you can go ahead and subscribe to him, like his videos, does awesome live streams for events as well. So if that's your cup of tea, definitely get involved with his community. It's definitely a good time. I'm a part of it myself. So it's very fun. So that's it for now. We are going to be having a pretty big episode coming up sometime this week or this weekend. We're going to have Carefree Youth on to do a mailbag episode. So it's going to be super fun. I'm going to put out a tweet, and you guys can go ahead and put your questions in, and we will talk to him, kind of kill some international break time. So it's a good opportunity to do things like that. So we're really excited to have him on as well. So absolutely have a good rest of your night. Thank you for watching. Feel free to like, subscribe. Please do turn the notifications on when I post a new video, and you will get that right away. So thank you very much, and up the Chels.